All right, all right. It says I'm live. Hopefully, I'm coming in okay. I I move around so much. I still don't know if my setup works. I'm back in Florida now. Be here for a while. I didn't bring my Yeti microphone with me, so hopefully the sound is coming out just fine through the speakers here. Give everybody a minute to hop on. It's good to see folks that are here. All right. We got a sound check. Thank you. Looking forward to meditation tonight. Thought I'd do something, try to spice it up every week. And this week we're going to do a meditation connecting to our bodies. There are a number of key themes that mindfulness meditation in particular uses. And the body scan is one of those. So this is a very helpful one, especially if you've been in your head a lot and you're wanting to manage stress or worry or just kind of leave thinking in your mind behind for a little while. The body scan can be a great tool to practice that. So my Thanksgiving was wonderful. Thank you for asking. Had family come into town, had a stepbrother come in from England, brother-in-law, and really enjoyed myself up in Portland. It's very weird being back in Florida during such times of coldness up there, and then coming here. And granted, it's not super warm, but it is kind of a shift with your thinking to be like, okay, it's Christmas time, but it's 70, 80 degrees outside, and seeing Christmas trees on or Christmas lights on palm trees. So anyway, yeah. Uh, yeah. Yeah. Holidays can be rough. They can be rough for a lot of us, a lot of painful memories or traumas from the past and whatnot. We still, to some degree, live in this world where there's such a high demand for like a Rockefeller type Christmas experience that there seems to be like a collective pressure that we feel that holidays have to be a certain way. And when they're not that way, and reality hits, or we have certain events that have happened in the past, it can be almost like a re traumatization. So, again, this is where meditation becomes our friend because it's an ally. It is a sacred other, this thing called the present moment. Because no matter where we go, or no matter what's happening in life, there's always this thing called the present. And sometimes things that occur in a present moment are not things that we desire, but those things are almost always temporary. And then there will be a new present moment that occurs. So, the trick to this mindfulness practice is when we go through uncomfortable situations or bad memories come up, that those can seem very sticky to us. And we get lost in memories or painful feelings, or even if we're experiencing physical pain, like in the moment. So, the encouragement here with this practice is to step beyond, to transcend, to go further than just what the mind or memories or even what the body is telling us. And once we understand that methodology, then the spirit or the ethos behind mindfulness really can roll out the welcome mat for us, because the present moment is really our friend. It's just that sometimes things that occur in the present moment are not always wanted. So that is the encouragement here with this mindset. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So go ahead, and if you'd like, you can close your eyes or gently loosen your gaze. And during this time, we're going to set an intention that for the next little while, There's nowhere that we're having to go, and nothing that we're having to do. Really, no even need for thought. We're going to do our best to put our thinking cap on the shelf and step away from processing, prioritizing, thinking about past and future. We're going to take this next little while to move out of our head and now move into our body. And so the process is quite simple. We'll just move from one part of our body to the next. And we just want to lightly and lovingly scan that part of the body, just noticing what happens to be there without forcing or nudging anything to be different than what is. And just making a little mental note to ourselves of, okay, this is what's happening in this part of my body. And then we'll hang out there for a little while and move on to the next part. And of course, as always, during this process, our minds can certainly wander away. And that's to be expected. That's normal. As John Kabat-Zinn would say, if you have a mind, it's going to wander. And I always like that to normalize for us that that's just what minds do. And so when we notice that the mind has trailed off somewhere, to just gently and lovingly escort it back, almost like you're bringing a sheep back to the herd. So for tonight, we're going to start with the bottom of our feet. So whether you're lying down or sitting in a seated position, bringing your attention now to the bottom of your feet. If it happens to be touching something, and just noticing the sensation of that experience. Whether if it happens to be something like a sock or a shoe or carpet on the floor. Just bringing our conscious attention now to this part of the spacesuit that we live in, this avatar body. The body never fully defines who we are. If I were to chop my arm or leg off, does that mean that I'm no longer Alex? Or if I were to chop both my legs off, et cetera, like at what point am I no longer me? So the body is not a definition of us. It is a tool. It is a vessel in which houses us. And so the body scan becomes an opportunity to check in with the vessel. Bringing our attention now to our toes. Perhaps, if you'd like, wiggling your big toe on your right foot, just as a little mind check to bring your attention to this particular part of your body. And now maybe wiggling your left big toe. Just kind of sending a beacon or a signal to our mind of, hey, let's come back to the body. Now moving to the foot as a whole. Just hanging out here for a moment and noticing what you observe. What's the temperature like with your feet? Are they like ice cubes or really warm? Is there any pain? If there is pain, what type of pain? Is it a tingling sensation? Is it like an electrical sting? Moving up now to our ankles. What do we notice here? The ankle is the part of the body that connects our torso and our head, the bulk of our body, including our legs, to the part of the body, our feet, that moves us forward. Just noticing all about your ankles. Moving up now to our calves. What do you feel here? What do you notice inside of your leg? As you scan this region, what do you notice on the outside of your skin? Moving up now to our knee. Noticing the degree of bend between your lower and upper leg. And slowly now moving up the upper part of our leg with our thighs and our quadriceps. Such heavy muscles that contribute to having this vessel of a body move us from point A to point B. Taking a moment to just check in with this part of our body. What do you notice here? Whether here or other parts of your body, if you do happen to come across points of tension or tightness, know that you can literally breathe into those areas. One thing, although this might seem a little odd, that I like to do is to imagine as though there's a little mouth next to whatever part of my body is tense or tight. And I imagine breathing in to that tightness area. And by the time I breathe back out, not always, but many times, I can notice a shift, a release, and a letting go of tension. We're not trying to do anything with the body scan. We're not trying to achieve a different state, such as relaxation or groundedness, although this is a very welcomed byproduct that happens. We're not doing that because we don't want to feel disappointed if that doesn't occur. And of course, we then lose the whole point of mindfulness in general, which is to be in the present moment with all that is good, bad, and the ugly. And when we're able to do that, this muscle of resiliency in our mind grows. We have a larger tolerance for what is. Moving now to our glute muscles. Noticing the weight of your torso against your buttocks. And just being with the experience. Noticing what's happening here with now this part of your body. Moving now to our hips and groin region. To our lower abdomen. And just being present. Doing our best to stay in tune with now this part of our body. There might be moments where memories or perhaps feelings come up. If or when this happens, just allow those to be part of the experience, part of the present moment, without allowing them to define what is. There's so much to explore in this thing we call the present. And these memories are just part of that, as is pain or other aspects that occur. Choosing to pivot our attention now to our abdomen as a whole, to our belly region. Continuing this scan, this scanning with curiosity. What's now happening here in this part of my body? And as I flip my awareness now to the other side, what's happening in a similar region within my lower back? What do I notice here? And what about the sides? What do I notice near my hip bones and slightly above? Again, doing our best to remain non judgmental and present with all that is. Slightly moving up now to our chest and our sternum area. Again, just simply observing what is. Do I feel a tightness? Does my chest feel strong? expansive. What about the sides of my torso? As I move my awareness now to my mid and upper back, what is occurring there? Moving up now to the top of my shoulders. Again, if you notice an area that holds tension or tightness, to know that you can breathe into those areas. And oftentimes that can help create a release. Moving down our arms, noticing our bicep and tricep. As we make our way to the elbow, noticing the degree of bend with each arm. Moving into the forearms now. What's occurring here? What do you feel? Perhaps your arm is resting on something. And if so, what does the pressure feel like, as well as the texture? Moving to our wrists, the back of our hands, to our palms. Now, slowly painting the body with this scanning awareness. See if you can paint with your mind consciousness, the spotlight of your awareness, every single finger, starting with your left hand and moving to your right, leaving no square inch unturned, just simply scanning and noticing. Good. Now moving to the base of our neck. Slowly moving this scanning awareness from the base of our neck slowly up the back of our head, knowing that with each passing inch as we move upwards, we are scanning thousands upon thousands of hair follicles. Slowly moving with mindful attention, with no goal in mind, nowhere we have to go, just gently moving this awareness upward till we get to the top of our heads. Now, moving this awareness, continuing to move it forward as it slowly slopes downward to our forehead. Scanning the forehead now. Moving now to our temples, a very common area for people to hold tension. To our ears now, to the sides of our face, to our cheeks, to our eyes and eye sockets, now to the bridge of our nose, slowly moving down the nose, underneath our eyes, underneath our nose, around our mouth, and to our jaws. Again, another common area that people carry tension. Once again, as a friendly reminder, if there is an area that you notice tension or tightness, that you can breathe into that area, perhaps saying a word or an intention with your mind of release or letting go, allowing the tension to leave the body. It's not needed. This is a time now where we melt and merge with what is. And any prior reverberations and echoes from the past are no longer warranted or helpful. Moving down the jaw now, Slowly as it makes its way to the chin, down our neck, down and down it goes. Down our collarbones, down the chest, and into the heart. Our real home. Taking a deep breath. And now, lastly, taking a step back, widening this aperture of our awareness from this spot treatment type focus, taking the step back to now viewing the body as a whole. Seeing our entire body now in our mind's eye. Breathing now from the entire body as a whole. We breathe in from the entire body. And we breathe out now from the entire body. And lastly, now we want to end with an intention of a blessing. Sending our body now unconditional love. The Buddhists would call this loving kindness or metta energy. As we briefly scan the body again, showering each body part with loving energy, healing energy, grounded energy, warm energy, white light or a color of your choosing, and the energy that comes with that. Forgiveness energy, letting go energy, empathy and showing up for you and the love that you might need right now, and having that energy now be infused with loving intention into your body. Anything less than love is now invited to be healed, transformed, or removed from the body. Bringing our intention now to our breath, taking one last mindful breath in and holding it for just a brief moment. And now slowly letting it out. And now bringing your attention to your fingers and to your toes, slowly making micro movements with your body, bringing your attention back to the body, to the present moment, to the room. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes. Hmm. So that is the body scan meditation. Very powerful. Now we went for about a half hour or so. You can do modified versions of this. You can go longer, where you break down each arm or leg to further extend it out, or you can go shorter and do a 10-minute meditation or even a 5-minute meditation. Sometimes if I'm at work, I have maybe 30 seconds or a minute tops. And so during that free time, then I'll do the same thing. Or I just briefly scan and say, is there tension or tightness or what's happening in a certain area? Maybe I need to breathe into that area and offer it some more releasing energy. So body scan is very powerful. I always like to leave room at the end if anyone has any thoughts or questions or observations. Very excited with the progression of my online course. This week marks the third to the last week. So we have 2 more weeks of skills to introduce after this to the tester group. And then we'll finish off with a capstone project. And we'll see when the final course is going to be released. But right now I'm projecting mid-February or so to build time for a launch and some awareness. So really excited for those next steps. Beta testers are seeing a lot of positive changes, which is very confirming to me. And I'm excited to release it so others can gain the same benefit. So it was lovely being with you all this evening. Have a good rest of your week. And I look forward to next Monday, where we'll follow up and we'll do another meditation then. Until then, be well. Namaste.